literally, in light of today's changes and the possibility of this pole shift, where scientific proof and evidence shows there have been pole shift reversals in the past. Now, mankind has not gone through one of these. They say it happens around, they have different timelines. Different scientists have different timelines. They're estimating some 26,000 years. Obviously, there's a reoccurring theme that over the last 2,000 years that our poles have been shifting very slowly. Well, it's up to almost 40 miles. Well, we'll get to that. 40 miles a day. You know, this pole shift is changing the magnetic north, and it's done it to the point where places like airports in Florida who have runways that run due north. That means perfectly due north, that are now 10 degrees off. Where an airplane comes into land, it's in fog or in a storm, and it has to land by navigate by instruments or by a compass. Well, when they get down there, they're going to be 10 degrees off. They're 10 degrees off because our magnetic north has already shifted 10 degrees. So the airports in Florida have had to go back and rename the runways. So the runway that was, say, I don't know, runway number 5, which was due north, they have to change because it's no longer due north. But they say this is a natural cycle, that Earth goes above and below this galactic equator every 26 years. They say it takes this many years for this solar system to make one full orbit around the galactic center. Each time it does, it goes through a galactic equator and the Earth's poles reverse. They know this through geological stuff, where geology testifies to this pole shift. It also explains past ice ages. You know, Greenland is covered with ice. Iceland is green, because all of these things have reversed. So when the global warming people tell you, well, the global temperature is rising, it's because of man-made CO2. It's not. NASA has verified there's now a positive magnetism energy that's appearing in the South Pole, which is normally supposed to be in the North Pole only. The South Pole is supposed to have a negative magnetic charge. In the past 150 years, there's been a migration between the North and South Poles and their respective magnetic charges of positive and negative magnetic energy. It's going through a reversal. Another thing that NASA has observed is the sun literally reverses its pole every 11 years with the solar minimum and maximum. The solar pole shift, which happens probably sometime this year, we're in the middle of this, for the sun to switch its pole, there's some concern about the extra solar activity that's going to happen from this solar maximum. Only because, like I said in the beginning of the program, Scotty, our shields are down. They're not down completely, but, there's holes in our magnetic field. One of these flares or solar storms or this plasma that comes from the sun gets through one of those holes, this would create a natural EMP. I think most of us know what an EMP does. It fries electronics. You can create a man-made EMP by exploding a nuclear device a couple miles in the air. It creates a man-made EMP, and it fries everything that's electrical. It would be your computer, your TV, your car, everything that's electrical gets fried. There's another thing that NASA observed, that they say that there's some comfort knowing that This is a natural thing and happened before. So this is not the end of the world caused by this, but it is a change. So what are the effects if we have this polar shift, a reversal? The effect of the pole shift may have some bad results if it's in a short period. Maybe it'll be gentle and take 100 years. They're not exactly sure because geology only gives up so much information. But since human beings have never been through a pole shift, the key is in recorded history. No one really knows how a pole shift is going to work out or exactly what these results are going to be. If a pole shift takes place, it's set the axis and magnetism of the Earth will be changed. The poles will flip and reverse. The South Pole will have a positive magnetic charge instead of a negative magnetic charge. North Pole will have a negative charge instead of a positive charge. When this happens, it's believed that the Earth's rotation will possibly change as well. The Earth's rotation, if this happens the way that some say that it would completely reverse. It'll literally spin in the opposite direction. No one knows this for sure. But scientists at NASA are presuming the reversal would take place, that this spinning the other way. So science of magnetism says that if these poles reverse, then Earth's rotation would also reverse. They don't know this for sure, though. So I'm broadcasting from the West Coast. Our weather comes from the west and goes to the east. If it actually changed rotation, then our weather would come from the opposite direction. And do you see how that works? If that even actually happens. There's some that saying it will. There's some that saying there's no way that's going to happen. So we don't know. I wanted to throw it out there just as a possibility. So the effects would be that the bodies of water could actually move just the way the water glass would. It would slosh in different directions. The glass is moving in one direction, and then you spin it the way. This water in a glass would slosh around. Well, in the Bible, in the end-time prophecies, when it says the seas will roar, is that what he's talking about? He's talking about this pole shift in the last days that would only cause these earthquakes, but cause the sea to roar because of the sloshing around comes from the agitation of this. You know, let me sum this up. What the general gist of what I'm reading through research of what's going to happen here, what they're saying is that the Earth's core is iron, and it's molten iron. Now they're saying as this magnetic pole shifts, that the inertia of this iron, the iron core, is out of sync with the rotation of the Earth, which causes extra energy. It causes it to heat up. It causes it to get hotter. As a result of that, what happens when it gets hotter? It produces more energy. This more energy has a wide variety of effects. The first effect, obviously, would be that energy's got to go somewhere. If it's producing more energy, where is that energy going? When it comes to these earth noises, this is a possible explanation. Wait till we get to this. This is amazing. These noises, they're speculating, are coming from this extra energy from the Earth's core, because this molten core is out of sync with the Earth's rotation. Now, some of these scientists are saying that because of this, that this extra energy has to escape somewhere. It goes through the path of least resistance. Well, the path of least resistance would be through openings of the Earth. That would be volcanoes and cracks in the Earth's crust, space between tectonic plates. This would not only cause earthquakes, and some of them could be very devastating earthquakes, it also cause like having acid reflux. Acid reflux is when the acid in your stomach is up into your esophagus because it's rumbling around down there. Well, if this is the same idea, then all of these volcanoes spewing at the same time would be like the Earth having acid reflux. It's got all of this energy down there, it's stirring up. It's coming and taking the path of least resistance. That would be up through the volcanoes. So it's spewing hot ash and lava through volcanoes all over the world. And it just happens that these same noises that we're going to explore here in a little while are also happening in places that are mountainous regions. So these may literally be earth farts, where the earth, there's just no other way to explain that. It's just a release of not gas, like a literal fart, but it's releasing energy through the path of least resistance, is what's saying. I'm obviously not a geologist, but I was just fascinated reading about this stuff. So they're saying that because of shift, that this molten core, this iron molten core, is out of sync, rotation of the Earth, which is why it's doing this. So they're saying that these bodies of water, because of all of this energy that's trying to be released, that would be just like sloshing around. Now, they're saying that anyone who lives in this slosh zone is subject to tsunami and flooding. It happens. This is the scientific premise in the whole idea of the Earth rising in global warming theory, conspiracy theory. When they say the waters are going to rise, yeah, they may very well rise, but not because of man-made CO2. It's not like you change your light bulb and this is going to stop. That's not going to happen. We have to understand what is going to happen here is that all of the temperature rise on the Earth, seas roaring, all of the earthquakes, the volcanoes, all of these things are a result of the consequences of a pole shift. The other thing that would happen, according to scientists, is that the Earth wouldn't be stable during this much of a drastic change in its magnetic field. They say that tectonic plates would shift and move. Earthquakes would happen. Volcanic activity would be triggered. Incredible storms with wind and water would happen at the surface of the Earth. Weather patterns readjust because the weather patterns have to readjust. This is all connected. So we would have some wild weather. We would have wild weather that we haven't seen before. Some people say this is going to be cataclysmic. And I suppose since we don't know 100% exactly how this whole thing is going to work, I guess it very well could be. It could be, that this could be a very bad thing. On the other hand, the Earth survived it before, according to geology. So what does that tell us? If it's happened before. Noah's flood was a record event. Now, while a polar shift is not the reason why, in that instance, believed it possible that was not the reason for the flood. But they're saying that this may have been the passing of Planet X. Planet X coming through the solar system. Same thing with Atlantis. It's believed that somewhere around 9,000 to 10,000 years ago, this cataclysmic event happened globally because of the gravitational pull and influence of Planet X. What is Planet X? What is wormwood? It's described in the Bible as wormwood. What is this? Well, I talked earlier about the physicist, theoretical physicist and regular physicist.